Alright folks, here we go. We're going to start off with painting the next lower. This is the Palmetto State Armory Nutcracker. And I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is paint this in the Christmas colors, which are red, green, and mostly red and green, of course. Maybe a little blue here, but it'll definitely be the red and green, especially for the fire controls. I usually like to make my fire controls, you know, green for safe, red for firing. In this case, they have a Christmas tree for safe right here, and they have a snowflake for fire position, an angel if you ever want to go to full auto, which the owner decides they want to go to full auto on this. Whoever purchases it, they decide they want to go to full auto, you got a full auto position to go to. Don't know why anybody would want to do that. Full auto is fun. Unless you have a lot of money or a progressive reloader where you can reload 10,000 rounds at a time easily and quickly. Full auto is kind of a waste of ammo. As I said, it is fun. I have shot full auto before. It is a lot of fun. But it's for those who have the time, the money, mostly the money, to spend on reloading, and because nobody could afford to shoot full auto ammo and have to buy it unless you're just, you know, just so filthy rich you can just piss off ammo like it's nobody's business. Like the United States government. They like to piss off a lot of ammo. Let's see, let's move this camera over this way just a tad and get our parts back over here on the camera. There we go. There we go. You want to clean it off very good with alcohol to start off with. You're going to paint your guns. Plan on doing this. I get it really good clean. Just plain old good 91% alcohol. Strongest alcohol you can get. Denatured alcohol if you've got it. You can use that also. I'm using this regular 91% of alcohol without any oils in it or anything like that. Get her nice and clean. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off on the non-shooting side, and we'll just show you how this works. You paint with toothpicks, basically, and for this one I use, let's see what we got here. I like to use the fluorescent colors. Like this one right here. And the cool thing about this one's really bright here. This is almost pink. I might just use a pink one on there. There's fluorescent orange and there's pink. And then there's this red, which is really red. But the fluorescent orange really turns pink on these things. This looks like pink, or fluorescent orange I should say. That does. It looks like it is, but it's really, when you put it up against that black, that matte black, it turns a different color. It turns this reddish color, really cool. Got to get them shook up, haven't used them in quite a while. Got to get her really shook up good. Stirred up good. Let's see if we get it open. Might have to get a little help. Oh yeah. Gotta get a little help. Whoop, man, that's really on tight. Look at that baby. Oh. Whew. I mean, I'm having to use the pliers to really get that puppy off. Woo! Alrighty. This is Fluorescent Orange, but when I put it on here, watch what happens. It actually turns a bright red. This will be curious to see how this turns out once I wipe it down. What you do is you fill in all the little spaces. And you let it dry. And then you come back. Let's go ahead and do both sides while we got them up here. That other side will not touch. There is just enough space on there, believe it or not. I don't know if you can see that, but what I'm doing is I'm dabbing it lightly. Just taking the toothpick and dabbing it lightly along the spaces here and filling them in. Just filling in the little indentations in the gun where they cut the patterns for the different markings, whether it's text or these little graphics here. We're going to fill them in like so with just a toothpick. You can see right there how it's just filled in with a toothpick. Pretty cool, huh? You'll watch it clean out here. Take this clean off. I clean my toothpicks right after I use them. I'll just keep using them over and over. Let's see if there's someplace else we want to do this. Where else should I use this? I'm wondering if I ought to fill in the Nutcracker with this or use different colors. I wonder how the Christmas would look on this. Let's see. Since this is only on one side, let's go ahead and do the Christmas. Move it over here a little bit. There we go. In fact, I think we need to move it over this way. There we go. Keep forgetting we're moving things different here. Anyway, we're going to do the Christmas here on this baby. Do it like so. We'll start out here with the C. Just fill her in real gently. Fill all the letters in. Just fill them in nice and don't be bashful about getting it in there. It helps to paint will settle in and smooth out. So when you're doing stuff like this with letters real close, just fill her in. Do the little thing here, the little thing. Here's your actual serial number, which on this one is 0136. Don't know how many of these they made. I forgot to ask them last time I talked to them. But I know it was a limited edition, so there's not a whole lot of these running around in the world. Let's see, what else should I do? This nice red color. I think his coat is red, isn't it? So why don't we just do his coat? Paint that red. Yeah. That's the ticket. Worried about how I was going to do this, but I can see it's not going to be that big a deal. Love the smell of this paint. This is nothing more than aircraft model paint. That's all this is. That's all she is. I think we should make the buttons red also, maybe. I don't know. Let me think about that a moment. I may want to do them in a different color. The color here is pink fluorescent, it says. But when you put it on this black matte finish, it turns something else. And the first time I did it, I didn't believe it either, and I said, okay. But this is what happens. So we're going to do the angel here in this pink fluorescent. But if you'll notice, that's no more pink fluorescent. In actual color, And I'm the Pope's firstborn son. And you just put it on there good and heavy, it doesn't matter. Because it will dry in. Now that looks like it's a totally different color, doesn't it? That don't look like it's pink fluorescent to me. I mean, I may be wrong. But, you know, that color and that color on the gun, that's two different things. If I'm not mistaken. But it's something to do with the way this paint matches up with the black. And when you're doing anything on a black background, you'll see that'll do that. Especially black matte. It will definitely be a darker color. Can't help but be one. Just a little cleanup here. We got paint all over me. Messing around with that bottle, trying to look at the label with the lid off of it like a dummy. Reminded of Fred Sanford, you big dummy. Well, there you go. You big dummy. Zoom it back. You can see the whole layout here. Got me a magnifying glass up here so I can see. But when I zoom in with the camera, I can see and the camera can see. Which means you can see too. So the next one on here is we're going to flip this over. This time we're going to put something on it to keep it from touching. In this case it will be a cartridge. We'll put a cartridge on it. And that will keep her from touching the piece we're working on. And let's see. I might want to turn this around. We'll just turn this around this way, upside down. Put this on here. So we can do the Christmas tree on this side. Zoom in on it here. Get it repositioned. Oops. There we go. Come in on it some more. There. And I can still see it under the magnet. The magnifying glass here. So we're going to do the angel on this one. I don't know why I had the Christmas tree in there. We're going to do the actual angel. Get her over here. Mr. Angel. She's upside down, but it ain't going to make no difference. So anyway, we're going to put the fluorescent pink back on here for the angel. And as I said, it's no more pink. Let's see my head over here. You can still see it. Da-da-da. See there? What we're going to do is we're going to fill that angel full of pink. fluorescent pink. But it's not pink. Build a little angel up here. If I was really cool, I'd put a little bit of gold there on the top of that halo, but Lord, let me tell you about that gold paint. That's some tough stuff to work with, and it smears everywhere. It softens up really quickly. Ooh, I didn't get my snowflake all the way on this side. I'm going to have to come back and do it again. I just noticed. This is why I need the magnifying glass, because in little tiny places like this, you can hardly see them without a magnifying glass. I don't care if you've got good eyes. Let's stir this up real good. I don't think I got it stirred up enough last time. This is supposed to be what? Red fluorescent. But as you can see, when I stick it on that background, that's about as red. That's hardly red fluorescent. Very much not red fluorescent. I'm going to make sure I get it on there good this time. There we go. Seal up that little spot good. I usually like to accent the letters of the manufacturer also. In this case it's Palmetto State Armory. And let me get my drink over here. One gets severely hydrated trying to narrate these videos. As you can see, the angel is already drying there in the center. Looks like I'm going to have to put a little more on it. Looks like it's getting a little destitute there in the center. I don't know, we'll see, we'll let it dry out. Looks like it could stand a little more, don't it? I mean, you can see that in the camera. There's got a little black spot there. It's like it didn't get enough. And believe it or not, that's not enough. You need to make sure that thing's got plenty of paint in there. Something like that. Because when you have a big area like this, it takes a lot more paint to fill it in. And the letters are really cool to do them because they don't soften up as quickly. And this stuff here, when you got these big large area, you have to, when you go to wipe off the excess, the center will soften up if you spend too much time there trying to wipe off the excess with the solvent, because that's what you're going to use. You're going to use gun solvent, or I am. We're going to use outers. To clean it off, we're going to use this outers nitro solvent. Good stuff. This is what's used a lot by everybody that does this. My scope getting in the way, but that's what it is. I'll zoom in on that later when I go to using it. So we have both the angels done. I think now we can switch over to the Christmas tree, which is going to be this green color, which actually here appears to be yellow fluorescent. That right there. Now I'm going to tell you something. When I put it on here, you're going to go, wait a minute. That's not yellow. But watch what happens. First time I did it, I went, no, that's not. What happened? What happened to the green? This is supposed to be green fluorescent here. But it turned such a dark green first time I used it. It's like, oh, it's like really dark green with that black mat. But this stuff here, it says yellow fluorescent, but when you put it on, it sure looks green to me. I could be wrong. Yeah, this needs to be really, really stirred up. Whoops. Maybe I should have cleaned that better. Oh, this is really thick. Might have to put some thinner in here. Let's see. I think that's what this is right here. Yep, thinner. Put a little thinner in here. This stuff got thick for some reason, like the cat didn't get closed on it all the way tight. Kind of weaken. Kind of needs a little. There we go. There we go. That's better. Now we're talking. Should thin this stuff out anyway to begin with, because these paints come really, really thick from the factory, and thinning them out doesn't hurt at all. Like none. Because one thing is, they will flow better. You have much better control over them when you layer them. If you layer it instead of trying to pull everything on there at once, your results come out a lot better. Been in my experience anyway. So let's play in here a little bit. Let's get the. Whoops! Look what we got here. I spilled some on my brand new pants. Okay. I think we got it. Yeah, we got the Christmas tree under here. Let's get it under the camera. Move the old camera over a bit. Zoom in. Whoops. That's the only thing about this mount on this camera. It is tight, but when it moves a lot. So, what I need to do and zoom in a little more. I think that's good and clear. Lock her down. There we go. I can see her clearly in the glass, and you can see her clearly on the camera. And here we go with the fluorescent yellow that actually turns green, as you can see it doing right there. Ta-da! Now, friends and neighbors, if that's not green, I'm your monkey's uncle. That's no more fluorescent yellow. Like I said, then I'm the Pope's firstborn son. Seriously. Not at all. Put some of this on the rag here. Clean off this end. There we go. My reusable toothpick. So there we have that side. I've got some things over here on the Nutcracker that I want to do in green also, since we have that open already. And let's see. Kind of wanted to do we'll do the Christmas tree while we got this over here because it's drying. And set that right there like that. Flip this around like so. And put that on here. I think then we'll zoom back. There we go. There's the old Nutcracker. Yes, sir. Let's see what we got here. See if we can get her better positioned on the camera. There we go. You see, we previously painted some stuff on here, and I'm letting that dry. But I'm going to use this fluorescent paint here to highlight the so-called fluorescent yellow, which is hardly yellow. And I may have thinned it down a little too much, but we'll see. Let me put the lid back on here and do some severe shaking on it. Let's see if we can't get it mixed up a little thicker, get it a little mixed up a little better. Okay, I think we're going to make the buttons. And Merry Christmas. The Nutcracker, we'll do the Nutcracker in this green. Think you can see it? Yep. You can see what I'm doing. Just spilling them in with the toothpick. And you can see it already, the paint settling on it. And that's no more fluorescent yellow. It's not. But the way it reacts with this black matte finish on this lower, it really makes a difference. How it comes out, it's kind of crazy. I kind of like it actually. You know, first time I did it, I said, "Oh, Jesus, that's not the right color." And then I looked at it again, and went, "Oh, maybe I do like that after all." There's his buttons. Let's see, what else should I do green on here? Oh, the Nutcracker multi, how about that? We'll do it all. We'll do it all in green. Fluorescent yellow, that. Excuse me. That turns green. It turns out green, but it's actually fluorescent because the bottle says fluorescent yellow. But as I said, when it reacts with this black matte finish in the background, it's a beautiful green. Really pretty fluorescent green. Let's see, what else should I do? I can see that I should have done the shoulder epaulets and his head, and all this is going to have to be the same color. I have to work on his mustache and his face here. I don't know what we're going to do with that. Because all the colors kind of run together. Yep, that's quandary on that one. Well, let's try the eyes in green. Let's see what happens. What do we got to lose? That's a solid place. Whoops, oh, too much. Put too much on there real quick. Also get globs on there, like that. Alright. Well, I'm going to think on this some more. How are we going to do this hat? And this face, because all the lines run together. And that means the paint's going to run together somehow too. So I need to come up with a solid one color. Let me think on this a minute. What other color do I have? Gray, gold, nope. Another paint thinner. There's a nice blue here. It's a really pretty blue too, but it gets really dark against this thing. Let's see, I have a fluorescent blue. Let me try this. It's actually a metallic, but it's a lighter color. gloss blue. That's a gloss blue. I don't know. I'm going to have to think on this one. Okay. I think what I'm doing is I'll just flipped it over here and I'm going to go back to the other tree and we're going to do it. While I let that other side dry up a little bit on some of the pieces, and we'll do the tree on this side. Get this with the fluorescent yellow. I did thin the stuff out quite a bit, so I'm probably going to have to go back over these several times to get these to really do right, because see, I really poured it on that one, because I know that big space is going to sink down, just like the angel has already on this side. Yep. Yeah, see, I'm going to have to go back over the angel on this side over here, and the Christmas tree on the other side, because so much paint is needed to fill these larger spaces in that I might have to go over them several times. If we, I think we shove the camera over here this way, easy like there, we can see the angel is kind of, it's not nice and flat and smooth. It's got some voids in it. So I'm going to come back over that and put more paint in that, fill that hole in. And this is what it takes to do these guns if you're going to paint them. Do these custom paint jobs on them. It takes a little extra time, but it adds a little extra character to the gun. And gives people, you know, something else to say, hey, you know, where'd you get that at? And they can say, you got it here. Custom made by you know who. So we're going to let that sit there and dry for a moment and soak in, and we'll be back.
Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, or Antipa and BLM will come to visit you. Promise.